What up, what up? What's up, guys? We'll get started in just a sec, guys. Just a second. All right. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Nope. One sec. What's up? Yo. Oh, doesn't look like we're going to be doing on the Twitter today, I guess, huh? Hold on, guys. Get started in just a sec. I'm just trying to get things set up. What up? All right, hold on. One sec. I got to see if this is going to work. If it ain't going to work, I'm going to stop it. And then we're going to move on. All right. Here's the deal. Glazed donuts. Connection's too poor. I don't think this is going to work. We're going to get rid of Twitter. We'll try it one more time. We'll give the tweets one more chance to get involved, and if we can't get it involved, we'll move on. So glazed donuts are the best donuts. No other donuts matter. What other donuts do you guys like? Tom Brady, Bucks, Ben Carson, the Kiss Cure Guru, which would be How Stupid Are We? I watched The King of Staten Island. I want to talk about that. Americans are unhappy. Hey, Surrey, I'm getting pulled over. And one sec. Let me just see if that worked. Those are the things we're going to talk about. And we're going to get started. And we're going to leave this if it don't work. If it happens to work, it works. If it doesn't, I don't really care. We're going to start the podcast. If that thing pops up and it starts working, great. If it doesn't, whatever. Peace. Qui. Don't care. Okay, here we go. All right, I think we have everything somewhat operational, except for maybe me, for today's podcast. This is Spazzing Out. It's my podcast. I'm Anthony Pazziali, or Spaz. Spaz, or Anthony, or Ant, or Paz are all acceptable. Never Tony, unless... a few people can call me Tony. Not very many people call me Tony. Now, I can already tell that we're going to have major technical difficulties with my live feed. I can't get on to Twitter live. It's saying that there's something wrong. And already my Facebook live feed has already glitched. So we're having some kind of a Wi-Fi problem in the basement. But I will push forward. For those of you that don't know, that have just started listening to the podcast, when I record my podcast, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights at 6:30, I go Facebook Live and I go TikTok Live, usually but I've been bounced off of TikTok. So now I'm doing Twitter Live, but the Twitter Live feed isn't working, and I'm already getting mess ups with my Facebook Live feed. So I can tell there's going to be technical difficulties, but we're going to move through it. We'll push through it. If people get cut off, they're going to have to listen to the podcast. Couple things that we are going to cover today. Glazed donuts are the only donuts that matter. Tom Brady's got his new Bucs jersey. The photos have been released, and I want to comment on Tom's new look. Ben Carson, who is the HUD Secretary, Housing, Urban Development, I think that's how you say it. He's telling us all we need to grow up and not be offended. I agree. I want to talk about that. The Kiss Guru, the Kiss Cure Guru, has died. And I'm going to tell you who he is, what the hell the Kiss Cure is, and how he died, and how stupid are we. That'll be the How Stupid Are We segment. I rented and I watched The King of Staten Island, which stars Pete Davidson. It was directed by, Judd Apatow, I think is the guy's name. I don't fucking know. But anyways, I want to talk about that. Americans are not happy. And no shit, but we'll get into why, what's up with that. Americans not happy. Hey Surrey, hopefully this doesn't call. Look, it did call Surrey. I'm getting pulled over. And it's actually activating on all of my phones. So maybe I won't say that again. And then I'm going to liken what's happening to police officers to what happens to a man when a woman hits him. Okay? I want to talk about how police officers are now going to be like when a woman beats up a man, what a man has to do, that's what police officers have to do now. Everything they do, they have to pretend like they're getting hit by a woman. And we'll cover that. We'll get into that. Before we get into that, I want to bitch a little bit about what's going on in my house. And sometimes maybe I'm just cheap. Maybe or maybe I don't feel appreciated. I don't know exactly what it is, but I believe I am the king of my domain. This is my castle. I am the king here. King Paziali. My son will be the king next, hopefully. But currently I believe I'm the king because I work. I am the provider of this family. I pay the mortgage. I pay the electric bill, the gas bill. I pay the car payments. I pay the cable bill, the food, the babysitters. Bro, I pay it all. Now, my wife, she's great. And this is not a beef on my wife. She's phenomenal. She works too. She just got back to work. Love her. So, honey, if you're watching this isn't about you. It's not a shot at you, babe. I love you very much. This is a problem with preference. And why I get upset about preference, because I feel like, hey, I'm the man. It's my money. Don't I get what I want? So we're having an argument over whether or not to get Chinese food today. She wants Chinese food. I like Chinese food, but it's not my go-to. I'm not like, yeah, let me get Chinese food where I get like 5 things and it costs $80. That's just not my thing. I would prefer to eat something that I want. So if I'm going to spend 80 of my dollars, I get to decide. The fight was this. I said, hey, look, you want Chinese food? I'll eat some of it, but you got to pay for it. You pay for it. You want it, you pay for it. Why do I get the fucking... Why do you... Because what typically happens is Chinese food, I get stuck with the bill. I get stuck with all the bills, bro. Here I am trying to act like I don't get stuck with the bill. All right. So I'm like, well, let's get pizza. And then it gets thrown on me. Oh, you get pizza once a week. And it's, and I'm like, all right, good. All right, great. Let's talk about the pizza. I get it once a week. Sure. What's the total cost? I don't know, $10 or something like that. I go pick up a pizza. So $40 a month. You get Chinese food once, you're already crushing. You're already killing the amount of money I spent on pizza. Not to mention to the fact that the only fucking good thing, I gotta try to stop swearing. The only good thing about Chinese food is going to pick it up. You go in and you drink Mai Tais and your wife calls you and says, hey, where are you? Oh, it's not ready yet. And it's been ready since you got there. But you're drinking Mai Tais. You can't do that anymore. It was the only reason it was good. The only reason I liked Chinese food is so that I could go and have a Mai Tai for like an hour and pretend like the food wasn't ready, even though the food was ready. But anyways, I just got a little aggravated because my wife came back on me. She was like, well, we always get what you want. And I'm like, yeah. My money will get what I want. If I'm paying, I guess I don't like being excluded when my funds are involved. Does that make sense to you guys? I don't want to be excluded when my funds are involved. So if I'm paying for something, I'm paying for something I want. I'm selfish like that. I worked for it. I worked my butt off. And if we're going to spend $80, I'd rather buy $80 worth of pizza. Or I'd rather just go food shopping. Or I'd rather to get something that I like. Someone's giving me the ha 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 ha. Is that my wife? She's probably pissed. I'm just trying to say, listen, I work really hard. Kaylee works really hard. She does. She's on her feet all day. You guys should go get your hair cut from her. She works at Floyd's Barbershop in Woburn. She's phenomenal. But when it comes to ordering food, if I'm paying, I'm picking. If you're paying, whatever you want. This is how I am about dinner. What's for dinner? If I'm not cooking, make me whatever you want because I am not cooking. I'm not the chef. I don't care what you make. I'll eat it. I'm not cooking. Plain and simple. Hold on. This thing's not working. I got to turn it off. It's absolutely driving me bonkers right now. Airplane mode. Okay. So, if I'm not cooking, I'm not going to say anything. But if I'm cooking, you're going to get Anthony Pazziali specials. And if you don't like it, tough shit. If I'm cooking, maybe you'll get a hot dog. Maybe you'll get a burger. Maybe you'll get mac and cheese. Maybe you'll get grilled cheese. Maybe you'll get pasta. Most likely you'll get pizza. Maybe you'll get eggs. Or maybe just straight up, I'm making peanut butter and jelly for everybody. And that's the way it is. Pancakes, maybe. But that's if I'm cooking. If you're cooking, what do you want for dinner, hon? You're cooking. What would you like to make? You want to make chicken? Great. I'll have chicken. Well, I'm going to make salmon. All right, great. Make salmon. She knows I don't eat salmon. Go ahead. Yeah, make salmon. No problem. Go ahead. I don't care. You're cooking. I'll go upstairs. PBJ. Done. So when I'm paying, when I pay, there's no democracy when it's my loot. It's, what do you guys, you know what I would normally say is, oh, you want to get takeout? All right. You know what I like. So order from wherever you want, as long as it has something I like, and it's not like $1 bazillion. It's not a ton of money. And Chinese food is mad expensive, and it's okay food. It's not the best. I mean, I like Chinese food. I do. It's a once a month thing. I'm down with that. Or maybe once every 2 months. Some crab goons, mad good. Some orange chicken. I love the orange chicken. Who doesn't love orange chicken? I mean, the General's bomb. There's no doubt. But if I don't feel like Chinese and I don't want to drop $80 on Chinese food, what's my money? Why don't I get the fucking pick? It's like vacation, man. All this shit drives me nuts. When it's my loot, I'd like to pick. That's all. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is I want to be included in the decision on where my funds get put and where my funds get spent. And most likely I would like my funds to be spent on pizza. And everybody gives me a hard time about that, but it's like, hey, I worked all day. My back hurts. My feet hurt. My neck, my back, my neck and my back, all of it hurts. I mean, look at me, dude. I've been beat down by life. I literally, at some point in my life, I was 6 feet tall, bro. Now I'm 5 foot nothing. I'm bald. I got no teeth, man. My teeth are fucking falling out. I work hard. Give a man a break. So, wives, that's all I'm saying. If your dude works hard and you want Chinese food, you pay for it. Unless the hubby wants it. If the hubby wants the Chinese food, fine. Then the hubby can pay for it. It's his money. He worked hard. Like, I get crap if I buy a bottle of booze. It's like, yeah, you're right up buying a bottle of booze. I worked all week long. Daddy needs some rum. Get the rum. Get the Billy Boy Boston rum out. Daddy's been working. He needs a drink. Not, let's get some Chinese food. Or it's always like, oh, why do you buy rum for yourself? Right? You can go to the store and you can buy whatever you want with the money that you worked for. You worked your butt off. You cut a lot of hair. You did a great job. I'm really proud of you. By all means, head over to the liquor store and get yourself some of those, what are they called? Trulas. Get some of those, and you have a blast. I throw trash in the back of a truck all week long. I do a podcast 5 nights a week. I'll go to the store. I'll get myself some whiskey, and I'll get myself some rum and a damn pizza, and I'll get it all cheaper than the cost of Chinese food. Anyways, I just wanted to get that, off my chest. Kaylee really does work hard. She probably outwork me, and she does deserve. She deserves what to get treated well, deserves to get Chinese food, but I'm just not that guy. If it's my money, I get to pick because I worked for it. So, I want you guys to think about just think about this, okay? You spend $80. You know how much... I talk about this a lot on the show, but you know how difficult it is to make $80? How much time and effort goes into making the $80? So while I'm eating Chinese food, all I can think about is how many bags of shit I just threw onto the back of a truck, or how many disgusting mattresses I had to touch and throw on the back of a truck, or dirty ass couches that I had to throw on the back of a truck so that I could eat orange chicken. It drives me nuts. At least if I'm going to spend money, then I get to spend money on something that I want. It's the same thing with rentals. Man, it drives me bonkers when I see rentals or things that are bought on my Comcast bill that I would never watch or approved of. It's my money. I worked for it. If I want to buy whatever I want to buy, fine, because I'm the man. I'm the king here. I am the fucking king. The self-made man. Me. But this is how we have it. You can't you work and you don't get to spend the money where you want to spend it. You work, you pay all the bills. You don't even get to pick the food that gets put in your house. You don't get to pick the booze that you would like to drink. Nothing. Anything you pick, anything you buy for yourself is... Anyways, moving on from that. Lively discussion over... I guess basically if it was subs, if she was like, hey, I want to get Kelly's, I would have been okay with it. I like Kelly's. I want to give them the business, and it's not going to be that expensive. Might be like $25. But getting Chinese food is forget it, man. Forget it. I'd have to work a goddamn entire week to pay for that. I'd rather go food shopping. So, anyways, moving on from that topic. Let's get to we're on food. Let's talk about glazed donuts. I don't know how this came up, but I was reading something on Twitter, and Krispy Kreme's was in the news, and I was just like, hey, you know what? Glazed donuts are the superior donut. By far, the glazed donut is the only donut that matters. Sure, there are some other great donuts, but ultimately, I don't know, what do you call it? The plain glazed donut? You have the chocolate glazed donut, which is a very good donut. Nothing against the chocolate glaze, but it doesn't touch the straight up glazed donut. The reason that the glazed donut is the go-to, first things first, it's far superior to just the plain donut. Normally, I would be like, the plain donut's the bomb, and that's what you go with because everybody would eat it. But not everybody will eat a plain donut. Plain donuts are dry, they stale, nasty. No one likes a plain donut. It's honestly, plain donuts are useless until they get glazed. And you know what? I think is a plain donut and a fucking glazed donut, they're not even the same thing. They're not the same donut, right? Now I have to get a fucking plain donut. It's not. It's a completely different type of donut. It really is. Now I need to get just a plain donut with no glaze on it to confirm my suspicion. But glazed donuts have multiple purposes. Have you ever had an egg and cheese sandwich where you cut a glazed donut in half, a nice egg, some cheese, little bacon on it, a burger in between a glazed donut? I'm thinking about having a slice of pizza between a glazed donut. I was thinking about that today. I'm like, what else can I put between a glazed donut? And I never fuck with my pizza. You guys know. I don't mess with my cheese pizza. I never, ever, 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 it's cheese pizza all the way, but I would like to see if it tastes good. I'd like to see if it tastes good. You cut the donut in half, slide a slice of pizza in the middle of it. The only other thing that I would do to mess with my pizza is I've always wanted to grind a pizza, buy a Papagino's cheese pizza, grind it, almost like as if you were making ground beef, and I want to stuff it into a manicotti. I want to see what that tastes like, dude. Oh, I think it would taste bomb. McGriddles are really good, man. I'll give you that. Someone just popped up with the McGriddle, man. They're really good. But in general, the glazed donut, it's the king of donuts. It's the go-to. My kids like glazed donuts. I like glazed donuts. Demoulas, Market Basket, bomb glazed donuts. 7-Eleven has pretty good glazed donuts. Dunkin' Donuts glazed. You can't fuck up the glazed donut. Now, let me tell you some donuts that suck. Powdered donuts, they're terrible. Bro, you might as well drink sawdust. Eat sawdust if you're eating a fucking powdered donut, man. They're like, you know what I call powdered donuts? You look like you just snorted like a shit ton of lines after you eat a powdered donut. And if you eat a jelly donut, you look like you snorted a bunch of lines and then you got a bloody nose from the fucking jelly. Jelly donuts. Boston cream, it's not even a donut, dude. It's a pie. It's a pie. The Boston cream donut is not a donut. It's a pie. Crullers are not donuts. Anything that have something injected into them without a donut hole in it is just a pie, dude. It's more like a pastry than it is a donut. Donuts, true donuts are, you know what's actually a pretty good donut is a glazed donut with chocolate on top of it. Not bad. Right up there. But the glazed donut, phenomenal. And I don't even know how I got onto this topic, but I got onto it and I put it on my Facebook, and people are going back and forth and they're naming all these bullshit donuts that they think are good when it really comes down to it. And I'm going to test it just like I test the cheese pizza theory. I'm going to buy donuts. I'm going to drop them somewhere. It's going to be a mixed bag. I'll let the person pick. I'll say, hey, you pick. And then we'll see. But I'll say, hey, listen, I need at least 6. Do half the dozen glazed. Do the rest whatever you want. We'll see. I guarantee you all the glaze are gone. Then, in the control group, I'm going to just drop off a dozen glaze. Every single glazed donut will get eaten. Every single one. Hands down, man. Every single one. Now, there are some donuts that are good seasonally. You know, if you go up to, there's a place at Corners Farm, or you go to any fucking farm in the fall, and you get yourself one of those apple cider donuts, I can agree that those are really bomb donuts. I'll give you that. They're delicious. So, I think the glazed donut is the top donut. That's how I feel about it. You guys can discuss this as we talk and go forward. I would spend money. That's something I would spend money on. So, if I had to pick between Chinese food and a glazed donut, I like glazed donuts, so I would put my money in on the glazed donut because I would take that thing, I'd eat one of them, I'd make a sandwich out of the other one. I like that. Good use of money, and then the next day, I'll have a glazed donut on my ride to work. So I'd be good with that. My money, glazed donut. My money, not Chinese food. It's not what I want. My money, I'd like to buy what I want with it instead of buying everything because my money gets spent on everybody else but me. I mean, I don't even buy shit for my podcast, man. Except, you know, we'll have an update on that because someone actually hooked me up with a little bit of money to buy stuff for the podcast. So once I get that and I buy the podcast stuff, I'll tell you guys all about it, even though that person doesn't want to hear anything about it. So, all right, moving on from donuts. Tom Brady. Are we going to talk about TB and his tan? So, Tom Brady, this is the first thing I noticed. The Bucks and the NFL sent out photos of Tom Brady in his Buccaneers Tampa Bay jersey, and the only thing I could notice was that the guy had a tan. That's it. Maybe I have a man crush on Tom. He is pretty good looking. I don't know if it's spray tan though or not, because if you look at his hands, he doesn't have like any tan lines. That what I'm trying to get is here is Tom has the perfect tan. Tom Brady has the perfect tan. No tan. I mean, look, I have tan lines. If you can, I don't know if you can see him. I know the people on the podcast can't see him. You probably can't see him. Hold on. This is just for the people on live feed. Look, see? Tan lines. I got tan lines. See? Tan lines. Tan line. Tom Brady, in his picture, no tan line. None whatsoever. So I don't know, did TB spray tan, or is he just getting a good tan or not? The jerseys look good. I won't be buying one because I never buy anything. We already discussed this. I don't own anything Patriots or Bruins or Celtics or Red Sox. I don't buy shit like that. I think it's a waste of money. I can support the team by going to the game, so I won't be buying a Tampa Bay jersey, with Tom Brady's name on it just to buy it. Is anybody else going to be buying that? I won't be. I'm more obsessed with the fact that the man looks damn good for 42 years old. He looks fantastic. His tan is impeccable. Not a single tan line on this guy's body. Looks like he was just sitting out in the sun getting some nice rays to look good for his photo. So kudos to Tom Brady, first in being a quarterback and first in being a pimp, because his tan is amazing. Check out the photo. I put it on my Facebook. As you guys are watching on my Facebook, the guy looks great. All right, out of Tom Brady, what should we do? All right. Cops. As we all know, cops are dealing with a lot of a backlash right now on what they can and can't do when they're arresting somebody. And I have just come to realize that police officers now have to act like a man who is getting beat up by a woman, a man that's getting hit by his significant other, or a man that's getting hit by a female. That's how police have to act. We all know what it's like. Every single dude that listens to my program and every chick that listens to my program knows the deal. Every man in America has been hit by a woman. Not every woman has been hit by a man. Although there are some scumbag dudes that hit women, I do not condone any dude hitting a woman. I don't even care if the lady lays down the absolute power. You don't hit women. It's how I was raised, how I'm raising my son. To that end, any time in my life when I was a younger man that I had got hit, now I'm older, that kind of shit doesn't happen. We're adults. We don't do that. But when I was younger, or even my buddy Gavi, because I seen it happen to him once, you don't fight back. So if you're a man, and I tell my son, I said, hey, listen, a woman's going to hit you, a woman's going to push you, no matter what, do not fight back. That's what's happening to the police officers now. Anytime they arrest somebody and someone resists, they have to act and pretend like they're getting hit by a woman. Because we all know that you cannot, and it's not acceptable, so I don't say it is, but you've been in that situation. Every dude that's listening right now has been in the situation, whether they were younger or older, where a woman got heated with them, and the woman, she pushed them, or she kicked them, or she slapped them, or she punched them, whatever the cause, and all you can do, hands down by your side, and take it. I've had my glasses broken, shirts ripped, I just hands down by my side, take it. I don't do anything, do nothing, because we all know that if you even put your hand up to block yourself, the girl's gonna smash her arm on your arm. Her arm's gonna break. You're gonna go to jail. You're gonna be in trouble, and you're gonna be sitting there going, "I was just trying to block my face." No one's gonna believe you. So we all know that the position that you get in when a woman's gonna hit you is hands down by your side, shut your eyes, and just take the beating. You just take it. You just sit there. You get thudded up. Your shirt gets ripped. Your glasses get broken. You just take it. You're like, Every man knows it. Every chick has had limp man. And I'm not talking about limp man in the bed. I'm talking about limp man while you're hitting your dude. And he's like, I'm so sorry. I apologize. Done. That's what's going to happen to police officers. Police officers now, when arresting somebody, they have to pretend that every single time they're going to be in trouble. So they can't touch somebody. They have to kindly ask, sir, would you mind getting into the back of the police car? Ma'am, could you please get into the back? Excuse me, would you put these handcuffs on? Yeah, sir, I know you have a gun pointed at me. Would you mind, if you're going to shoot me, could you maybe shoot me in the leg? It's kind of how if I was getting hit by a woman, I'd say, hey, you're going to beat me up and I'm not going to block it or anything. Could you hit me in the arms or in the back or somewhere where it's not going to hurt as bad? Do you have to break my glasses? That's what's happening to police. So now I urge all police officers, when you're pulling somebody over, pretend as if you were getting into an altercation with a female and she was hitting you, and you have to get right into limp man mode and take the beating. Hands down by your side. Let they hit you, they punch you, they kick you. You can't do anything. You can't do any self-defense, because if you do, you will be to blame. I mean, shit, if the girl breaks her hand on your head, you're going to jail for that. Same thing that's going to happen with someone you arrest. If they hit you in the face and their hand smashes around your face but nothing happens to your face, you used a deadly force of your big forehead on this person's hand. So that's how I liken it. That's what our cops are up against. And I thought about it today. I was like, man, I feel bad for police officers, because they have to be in that position now where they have to actually take a beating and they can't protect themselves or anybody else, because if they do, they're going to be in trouble. So, limp guy mode. All right, let's get out. Let's look at Ben Carson. All right, so Ben Carson is the only African American in Donald Trump's cabinet. We all remember Ben Carson. He ran for president the same year that Trump ran for president. He's the really quiet doctor, which is kind of crazy to everybody, because like, wait a second, this guy was a doctor and doesn't really know much about housing authorities or real estate. Why is he the head of HUD? But whatever, he's the head of HUD. He was on, I don't know whose show he was on. I don't know if it was Fox News or maybe it was CNN. I think it was CNN. And he was someone had asked him a question about everything that's going on and about statues being replaced. And to sum him up, he was using an analogy about changing the names of colleges. But what he said basically was, America needs to grow up. America needs to stop being butthurt. People have to stop being so offended. Why is everybody so offended when something happens? Like someone calls you stupid. Why are you so offended by that? Big deal. Oh, you called me stupid, bro. High five. Someone calls you these are all things that have happened to me. Someone's called you a douchebag. What? Okay, great. You feel better? You called me a douchebag. They're just words, is what he's saying. Why haven't we, as a society, why don't we grow up? We're not kids anymore. It's when you were a kid, names bothered you, right? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. Well, when you're a kid, names really hurt people. Calling people names or getting pissed off about shit, pissed off kids. But now we're adults. And as adults, you shouldn't be offended by certain things. You should just be able to roll over and just say, hey, whatever, turn the other cheek. All right, no big deal. He was saying this all to the fact about taking down statues, renaming streets, renaming colleges. And he just said, what are we going to do? Every 20 years, are we going to change the name of something because it bothers somebody at the current time? Like 10 years from now, people are going to hate Italians. So, pizza, get rid of pizza. Italians were just a bunch of douchebags. So pasta's got to go. He's just basically saying, I agree with him, that we need to grow up. We need to be more thick-skinned. Now, I'm not talking about hate words and hate crimes. I'm just talking about in general. When you bust someone, you can't even bust anybody's balls anymore. You give someone a hard time, and they get so upset and so offended. I don't know where that comes from. I have a pretty thick skin. My entire life, I've been called names, beat on, shot down, but it's never bothered me. What you have to say about me doesn't bother me. I spent 16 years on the radio with people ridiculing me, emailing me, sending me hate letters, fucking up my car, so just beating me down. Never bothered me, never got to me, not even once. Same thing like in high school, I was always the little dude. Everybody used to break my nuts. Whatever. I don't care what you have to say about me. And it still happens to this day. As the boxer said, to this day, people breaking my balls. To this day. Everybody's giving me a hard time, but I'm not easily offended. And that's what Dr. Ben Carson is saying, is that we need to grow up and not be so offended by things. You know, if somebody makes a stupid comment to you, whatever, bro. Yeah, see you later. You're a mutant. Beat it. Don't be so bothered by it. Come together. Try to find a way to get over it. Literally, when I was younger and I used to work at the place, I had a kid punch me in the face. And literally, after he got done punching me, I just looked at him. I said, okay, you feel better, bro? You feel good? He was like, you are, we're going to fight. He got all his eyes looking at me like, I'm going to kill you. I just looked at him. I go, you feel better? You got one. You got one in on me. Good for you. So let's grow up, and the name calling or being butthurt, stop it with the being butthurt. Stop being a man. Stop being a grown-up. Someone chucks a name at you, walk away. Don't be bothered by it. Honestly, I don't know what the worst thing you could call me is. I really don't. Maybe the worst thing you could say to me is I'm a bad dad, right? You could say, you're a bad dad. Oh, great. You might not be wrong. I might say something like that. I'm like, oh, you might not be wrong. I might be a bad dad. I don't know. Personally, I think I'm a great dad. But I'm not offended by what you have to say. And as a country, if we were less offended by everything other people were doing, we'd be a better country, we'd be a stronger country, and we might even get along better. I always tell people, know personalities. Know the person that you're dealing with, and you'll be more comfortable with the shit they say and the shit that they do. Understand who they are, where they came from. Seek to understand before you seek to be understood. And you'll learn a lot about someone, and you'll be able to tolerate what they have to say and why they're saying it and where their point of view comes from. Whether you agree with their point of view or not, you'll have a little background into why this guy is such a hard ass or why this guy is such a fucking cupcake. You'll know, you'll understand, and you'll be a little bit more tolerant to his verbal abuse that he might give you or to his stupid comments that he might say. And you can kind of walk the other way and be like, yeah, don't worry, that guy's a doofus. So we don't have to be so offended. Ben Carson, you guys should check that article out. I think that's really smart of him to do. Next thing, how stupid are we? This segment is a segment where I talk about stories in the news where stupid people do stupid things and they need to be told not to do these stupid things because that's how stupid we are. We're so dumb that someone needs to tell you you shouldn't be doing that. That's how stupid people are. You know shit is wrong. Why do I have to tell you this is wrong? How stupid are we? In India, there was a Kiss Cure guru. This is a spiritual leader who believes that he could he could perform an exorcism on COVID-19 by kissing you. Now, I have some bad news. The good Kiss Cure guru has died yesterday of COVID-19. He himself could not cure himself, and not only did he not cure himself, he gave COVID-19 to 40 other people, and 10 of them are in intensive care. Just how stupid are people in the United States, in India, all throughout the world that you need to be told, first off, bro, a kiss from the Kiss Guru is not going to save you. It's not happening. It's never going to happen. A kiss on the cheek, on the hand, on your ass isn't going to help you. You idiot. And now you're dead because you were kissing people who have COVID-19. Now you're gone. And then you gave it to 40 other people, and 4 more people look like they're going to die that went to you and probably got it from you. You dumbass. But people are this stupid. These are the same people that respond to the email from the prince in Nigeria that's like, hey, I got some money I need to send you. This is why government, let me be clear here. Stuff like this is why the government has to make laws for idiots that affect the rest of us. Because there are morons out there that will go to the Kiss Cure guru and think that they're going to get a kiss and it'll go away. So now the government has to come out and say, okay, we ban all holistic medication type people because it doesn't help. Now some people might think, oh, I'm super holistic and I'm going to put some rocks on my heart. Put some rocks on. I'm having a heart attack. Get the heart attack stones. Or Go to the fucking ER and get open heart surgery and live. Or you can put the heart attack stones on your chest and fucking die. So that's why we get stuck. That's why the government makes laws, dumb laws, because dumb people live in the world. Dumb idiots live in the United States. They live in China. They live in all over Europe. They live in Africa. They live in. They don't live in Africa. They live in Australia, wherever. Please, people, you have to think. Just use your brain for a second in life. Just think, just for a second. That's all. That's all I ask. If you learn anything from this podcast ever, which you probably didn't because you didn't make it this far in the podcast and you're not listening right now anyways, so the one person that might have made it this far, if you learn anything from me, just take a second and friggin' think. Just think. Think for a moment. If you would think more, the government would be less restrictive because they wouldn't have to tell you what to do because you would know what to do. All right. Checking time. Time check. All right, we're looking pretty good. What do we we covered Tom Brady, Ben Carson. All right, Kings of Staten Island. Pretty good movie. Kings of Staten Island is a Pete Davidson movie that you can, instead of it going into the movie theaters because of coronavirus, they released it on digital, so you can rent it now. Pretty good flick. I'm not a huge Pete Davidson fan. I kind of don't understand why he's on SNL, because I think there's way more funny people. But I did like the movie, and I liked the theme of the movie. Bill Burr was in it. Bill Burr was awesome in it, by the way. I love Bill Burr. I think he's a great comedian. He was really good in it. Marissa Tomei was the mom in it. But what really kind of touched home for me, or made me think about what's going on now. So Pete Davidson, when he was a kid, right, at 7 years old, his father died during 9/11. His dad was a fireman, and he died over at the Twin Towers only when he was 7, man. So just think about this. As a 7-year-old kid that has to live the rest of his life without his dad. I'm guessing that's pretty traumatic. As a 41-year-old man, my dad passed away. I was 35. I was devastated. It still affects me. So I can't imagine how it is on a 7-year-old. And the movie is loosely based on him losing his dad. I mean, it's a mirror image of the situation and about who the person he became. And what it made me think of was, I can't believe, check out the movie, but I can't believe how quickly people in the United States have forgotten and have turned their backs on police officers that went, and some police, not just firemen, police officers that died on 9/11, and so quickly in the United States we've turned our backs on law enforcement. It made me think of the Boston Marathon bombing and the police officer that fucking died to the hands of these scumbags, but yet they're out there fighting, trying to protect us, and how great and how fast and swiftly they found these two dirtbags. And then in the blink of an eye, like this, the whole United States turns their backs on police officers. Everybody all of a sudden forgot about 9/11. Everybody all of a sudden forgot about the Boston bombing. Everybody all of a sudden just, boom, forgot. Like the police don't matter anymore. Like they're not heroes. Like they don't protect us. Like they're not out there for us every day. I want you guys to stop for a second. Just think one quick second. That's what this movie did for me. I'm here watching The King of Staten Island, and it's a fucking Pete Davidson movie, and the only thing I could think of was, man, this guy's dad died in 9/11, and so did a lot of other good firemen, and so did police officers. And right now in the United States, everybody has forgotten these heroes that would run into danger for you and now hate them. Everybody has given up on the police officer. Everybody has said, yeah, we don't care what you did during 9/11. We don't care what you did during the marathon bombings. We don't care about that. And then I started thinking about the police officer that got shot in Woburn, right? This man got killed over jewelry. Everybody forgets about him and his family and the sacrifice that he gave and Woburn and any police department gives to protect us. We all forget about it. Right now, we don't care. We're like, yeah, whatever. Everybody throughout the country has forgotten what brave souls these guys are. It hit home for me right away. I was like, boom. I'm like, this is the perfect movie for everybody to be watching right now so that everybody can remember. And it's really, the movie doesn't have anything to do with that. The movie's all about a boy growing up without his dad and what kind of man he becomes. But for me, it was a different thing. It reminded me how great our first responders are. It reminded me that these people, in the face of danger, they run towards danger while the rest of us run in the other direction. And yet we're having rallies to disband them, to defund them, to get rid of them. We quickly forgot that they ran to the towers. We quickly forgot that on the Boston Marathon bombing, the police officers ran to the bombs. We quickly forgot that any time there's gunshots or murder or a robbery going on, they run into it, not from it. They run to it. You should check out the movie. It's really good. That's it's pretty tough and sad that we're disrespecting every single police officer that's out there right now when they would most certainly right now, if something were to happen, if there was a big terrorist attack or a building was to blow up or just gang violence happened, they're going to run in. They're going to run into it for us. So next time you think about telling a cop to go fuck off, why don't you think about what he's going to do for you when you need him? Just saying. All right. Also, check out the movie. I think you guys will like it. Right here. An even bigger, not worth the $20 rental, okay? Wait till it comes out for free. Then watch it. Bill Burr's great in it. All right, we got through that. Americans. Next story. And do we have time for it? Podcast is getting close to the end. Americans are the most unhappy they have been in 50 years. According to a new survey, only 14% of Americans are happy. Only 14%. I'm guessing that the 14% that said they were happy are rich. I'm guessing that the 14% are people that make $1 million plus a year. This is another one, like, how stupid do you think we are? How stupid are we? We know Americans aren't happy. We act like we're happy, man. We all walk around and pretend like everything's good, and we pretend like we're happy. Like, oh, yeah, how you doing, bro? Oh, things are good. While someone's telling me things are good, I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm fucking great. My company got fucking crushed. From the coronavirus, my real estate investment company's that getting killed. I don't know. My wife wants to order Chinese food. People aren't happy. There's so many things, but I could sit here I could do 10. I could do 365 days of podcasts about why people aren't happy, especially here in the United States, and none of them would be like political. I wouldn't sit and be like, oh, I'm unhappy because of protesting. Oh, I'm unhappy because of this. No, I'd just be like, straight up, be like, yeah, dude, people are miserable. I'm miserable. Why am I miserable? Because I got to wake up in the morning. I have to go to work, so I'm miserable. I got to get up at 5 in the morning. You wake up at 5 in the morning, it's miserable. It sucks. And then I got to go to work, and I got to throw trash on the back of the truck. Yeah, that sucks. It's miserable. And then the truck that I'm driving breaks down, and then I have to pay for it. Miserable. And then I get home, and there's no booze. Miserable. And then I get home, and then there's no bread. Miserable. And then I get home, and one of my fucking kids wants to talk to me. Miserable. People are miserable. Bro, and I did 14%. I would hazard to guess that 99% of Americans are pissed off and not happy, and it's nothing to do with political commentary or the division. Most people don't even care. I'll give you guys to it straight as fuck. Most people, including myself, do not give a shit what's going on in the outside world. I got more shit to deal with right here in my little bubble in Revere than I have time to worry about other shit. Most of the stuff like that I talk about on the show, I do research on it and I give an opinion on it because I have a show. Or I'll do a video on it because I create content. But in real life, dude, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Oh, you guys want to rip down a statue? Great. My daughter just shit on the floor. Bro, I don't care about your statue. I got to pick this up. Oh, hey, look. A white man was shot in the face in California. Yeah, that's great, bro. My wife wants to order Chinese food. I don't care. That's what's real. That's real life. I don't care what anybody says. Americans, in general, are pissed off and unhappy because shit that's going on at home. They're dealing with shit. You work all day, bro. You work your butt off. You get home, you deal with shit. You work at work, you come home, you work. Plain and simple. I don't care. I don't watch the news. Well, I do now because now I have the show. But honestly, I care more about the fact that I got to pull weeds, and I'm more aggravated about the fact that I got to pull weeds than I am about George Washington's statue being fucking tarnished. Now, I'm pissed off about it. I love America. I don't want people to tarnish it, but I don't have time to stop and be like, yo, I'm going to go do something about this. The people, they tarnished George Washington's statue. I'm going to get real pissed off. I'm going to be like, yeah, bro, I got to pull weeds. I got weeds in the backyard. They got to go. I got to deal with that because if I don't pull the weeds, you know what happens, right? Yeah. The wife gets mad. And if the wife gets mad, I'm miserable. Happy wife, happy life. 99.9% of American dudes, I'm telling you, 99%, 100% of the, what is it, 14%? What's the math on that? 100% of the 86% are miserable white dudes that get tortured by everybody else. So they're just trying to make everybody else happy. That's why they're miserable. They don't want to deal with shit. I don't got time to come home and do research for my podcast, man. I can have a fight over whether or not I want pizza or I want Chinese. You want to see Happy Anthony? Happy Anthony gets to come home and be like, yeah, I'm going to have pizza. The wife goes, all right, great. That's good, honey. We're going to have pizza. So that's why, in general, it's a bullshit story because we already know every American is unhappy. But they're trying to turn it into something political and say, oh, 86% of Americans are unhappy because of the coronavirus and police brutality and Black Lives Matter, when in general, 100% of the country doesn't give a fuck. 100% of the country cares about what I call spilt milk. That's what I care about. Spilt milk. That is just a coverall for anything that happens in my house. Dude, it's spilt milk. I got bigger issues. I have spilt milk. Spilt milk could be the dryer doesn't work anymore. Spilt milk could be I have a fucking a faucet leak. Spilt milk could be my wife wants Chinese food. I already said that. Spilt milk could be my son needs a ride. Spilt milk means someone at my house wants to bother me. You get where I'm going? Spilt milk is what Americans really care about. That's the problem. That's why we're not happy. Motherfuckers work all day long, make shit money, try to make more money, can't get ahead of the game. Anytime you get ahead of the game, spilt milk. Every time. You get $100 in your pocket, boom, spilt milk. You feeling good about yourself? Boom, spilt milk. You fucking get home? Spilt milk. You walk through the door? Spilt milk. You go to work? Spilt milk. Every fucking where. I'm fucking drowning in milk. Get it? That's what Americans are worried about. That's legit, man. All this shit here that I'm talking about, we don't care, man. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit about Ben Carson, the fucking the Kiss Cure guru, fucking Kings of whatever the fucking movie was, my podcast. No one gives a shit. They don't care. You know what? And if you don't believe me, here's the test. All right, well, let me check the clock here. Here's the test. I want you to test yourself. If you don't believe the spilt milk theory and unhappiness in America and things that you really care about, the next time you're doing something, right, that you are so passionate about, that you care about more than anything, it's the best. It's either the best thing or the worst thing. You're just really involved in it. You're gung-ho. You're like, yeah, I got it. And then your wife calls and you fucking drop everything because you're going to go take care of the problem for your wife. That's spilt milk. That's what I'm talking about. Your son calls, You've just dropped everything you want to do. That's what Americans care about. Americans want to act like they give a shit about statues, and they give a shit about President Trump, and they care about gay rights and black rights and white rights and fucking the coronavirus, but they really don't. At the end of the day, they don't, and you guys all know I'm right. 150,000%. Everything else is secondary to spilt milk. Everything else is secondary to spilt milk. And as I said, spilt milk is anything and everything that is a problem in your fucking personal life or just in your life in general. Right down to getting a flat tire. You get a flat tire, you're not going to the protest. I got a flat tire. No protest. I got a flat tire. Fuck Washington statue. I got a flat tire. Fuck work. Trust me. Whew. Trust me on that. Try it. Test it out. Spilt milk. That's what it's called. Tom Brady's tan. I cared about it for like 10 minutes. I'm like, TV's got the best tan I've ever seen. This thing is phenomenal. Then boom, my daughter comes downstairs. It's like, Dad, I'm hungry. Over. My daughter gets fed before I can care about anything. I don't care if we're in a goddamn war. I'm on Valley Forge and Washington's telling me, hey, we got to take the rowboat over the Delaware. And I'm like, yeah, bro, you got to chill out. Relax. My wife needs Chinese food. Chill out. That's what life is. That is life right there. Plain and simple. When you're in the heat of it. When you're just flat out. Whatever you're doing, whatever your big aspirations are, bro, you could beat Tom Brady in the fucking Super Bowl doing the best comeback of all time, man. You guys are down 28-3. You're mounting a comeback. Boom. Giselle calls and says, Tom, how you won't believe it. My kid's got a fucking splinter. Splinters will fuck your whole life up. You'll spend hours trying to take a splinter out of your kid's finger that won't let you do it. Oh, no, Dad, it hurts. Yeah, and then you get all pissed off. You're like, just hold him down. I'm just going to take the fucking thing out. You know what I'm talking about. That's what people care about. Enough of this fake shit. People care, but they don't care. It's nice to care. I wish you could care. But at the end of the day, honest truth is, unless you got loot, unless you're a billionaire, you don't have time to care. You gotta work, you gotta deal with real life problems, so you really can't give a fuck. Period. And you don't care. So stop acting like you do. I think about this every single day because I post a lot of shit, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I do care about this. I really do. I think it's bad. I don't want to see African Americans get killed. I really believe in it, but hold on. Chill. But, my kid's got a fucking splinter. Spilt milk. Spilt milk. I'm gonna go to fucking protests with a big fucking sign that says, spilt milk. Spilt milk. All right. I hope you guys got what I mean. I think I'm going to lose my voice. I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from on this. We all do care about the issues of the day. They're interesting to talk about. They're important to us. But at the end of the day, what we really care about is what happens in our personal lives. That's what really grinds the gears, as they say. That's what really gets you. And put yourself to that test. Will you shut off your personal issues for a greater cause? Will you literally go and protest or stand up for something, but at the same time have a personal issue that you need to take care of? I'll tell you, you won't. You won't. You'll go take care of the personal problem because after the protest, you got to come home and you got to deal with that. And I don't want anybody fucking with my sleep, dude. I spend 99% of my day making sure that I can get to bed on time, so I deal with all my personal problems. My bed is not soaked in milk by the time I go to sleep. Guarantee it. All right. That's going to do it for today's podcast. We will talk about issues on this program because I ultimately care about it. But at the end of the day, I find myself being like, dude, I got way bigger problems than this shit right now. Like, yeah, you know what? Everything that's going on sucks, but I got to pay the cable bill. Like, literally, I got home, I wanted a bowl of cereal, dude. I didn't have any milk. I was more pissed off that I didn't have milk, legit milk, so that I could have a bowl of cereal than I was about anything else today. And so much bad shit happened today, and all I could be like was like, yeah, I just want a bowl of cereal. Just a fucking bowl of cereal. And I gotta stop swearing on my podcast, which is something that's got to go away. That's why I got banned on TikTok, and I also get shit on Facebook. I like to swear. That's who I am. It sucks. I got to adjust and try to drop the F-bombs. Driving me nuts. All right, podcast. That's more spilt milk for you, bro. Podcast peeps, thank you for checking it out. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 6:30. Live stream on Facebook. Hopefully back on TikTok in a couple of days. Thank you so much. AnthonyPaziali.com is where you can get all the links to where you can find my podcast. Please check it out because it's brought to you for free. I bring this program to you for no pay. Spilt milk. Working for free, brah. For you. All right, guys. I'll check in with you guys tomorrow night. I appreciate you guys sticking with me, as usual. My Facebook family. Much love for you guys. Please tell everybody to check out the page. Check out my podcast. Tell them we talk about the topics of the day, like spilt milk and, glazed donuts and bone in and bone out. And sometimes, sometimes we get to stuff. Kaylee shot call every time, I swear. I know. It'd be tough. I think I lost my voice, too. All right, guys. Night. Love you.